So, a few weeks ago, they released the 2020 Surgeon General report on smoking. And this is the 34th report since the 1964 report. There's been 34 reports that have been issued, not every year, it skips years here and there. So this is the 34th report, and it was focused on cessation this time. Some of the reports in the past have been focused on the dangers of smoking. Some of the reports have been on the addiction to smoking. Some of the reports have been on initiation of smoking. They cover different topics. This is the second time they covered cessation for smoking. That was the focus of the report. Some of the key findings on there was that smoking is down. Smoking is down to 14% of the adult population, and that's really good. In 1964, when the first report came out, gosh, over half the men in our country smoked. And women were, I think they're around a 30-some% rate at that point. But still, we were talking about a lot of people who smoked, and now we're down to 14%. So that was good. One thing he highlighted was the fact that we know that it's the number one preventable cause of death in this country. It highlighted the fact that if people quit smoking, they had an average of 10 years to their life. People lose a decade of their life because they smoke cigarettes. That's on average. I mean, some people lose less. Hey, some people lose a lot more. So that's an important point to get across. One thing he talked about was that doctors aren't doing enough to help people quit smoking. And the way he highlighted that was only 40% of doctors don't even tell their patients to quit smoking. Here we got the most preventable cause of death in this country, and 40% of doctors, when their patients come to them who are smokers, don't even bother to tell them to quit smoking, even though we're talking about something that's literally crippling and killing these people. The one part where the report did what all the other reports do and what all the other public health agencies do, I mean, this is nothing new, is they keep telling people, we've got all these great treatments out there. They will double your chance of success. And if you go through the whole report and you go through and listen to his interviews where he talks about the report, it's just pushing how if they can get the doctors to talk to their patients, and if they can get their doctors to prescribe medications, to use these what they call their proven therapies to improve their success, that's going to really help so many more people quit smoking. And that's been a standard line all along. There is one thing he did in the report, though, which we hadn't seen before, and that was exciting. Even though he basically downplayed it, even though he basically questioned the finding, in the introduction of the report on page 15, it highlighted that the majority of people who have quit smoking have done so without using any medications. He basically referred to them as cold turkey quitters, that is how the majority of people have quit. He went on to say that, of course, it would be better if people didn't do that in a way, but at least they finally acknowledged that the way the majority of people have successfully quit smoking was without those interventions. What really shocked me, though, when I saw it was who he resourced on that information. One was a researcher, which I wasn't familiar with, but the other resource that he put in was Jon Polito in his book Freedom from Nicotine, which is the whyquit.com, one of our books at whyquit.com. That was a resource that he put in highlighting that. That was exciting. It was the first time that I think we've ever had any feedback of any sort that the government actually paid attention to anything we said. Now, of course, he used it as saying, yes, there are proponents who say that this is a good way to quit because it's the way the vast majority of people quit. But then he went on to say, but there's also these proponents out there that will tell you that all the studies show that it doubles your chance if you don't do it that way. It's a little step, but it's something. It was exciting to see. Everybody who is a smoker, everybody who wants to quit smoking, understand the way that it is done by the majority of people who do it, is they just stop smoking. They don't deliver all these other medications that are supposed to help them quit. That and it acknowledges in the report that our views on this, that they were saying that it actually undercuts people. And again, they question that. Some of the ways they question it is it's like, oh, the people didn't use it right. They didn't use it long enough. Oh, they weren't as addicted, the people who went cold turkey. I mean, there's all these rationalizations that are used that why people have to use the products. But it's not true. You don't have to use the products. We have lots of resources addressing all these issues already. I'm going to attach them into the resource page for this video that discusses the standard line that you're always going to get, why we don't believe that standard line is correct, how people do quit smoking, and then most important, information on how to do it. Things that you can use to help really build a firm foundation of understanding, to help you quit off to a good start, to have a good, secure foundation of understanding of why it's important to quit, how to quit, and then most importantly, how to stay off once you do quit. Although it's not complex, all a person really needs to do to quit smoking and stay free is to finally make and stick to a personal commitment to never take another puff.